Hey, what's up, guys? It is K-Dog's Kennel coming at you with another week of NFL picks. Today we're going to do week 9. Coming up here a little early, just with it being Tuesday, just to get them, I don't want to say out of the way, but, I want to focus on some other stuff this week as well. Last week, not that great. We went 8-7 last week, bringing our season total to 78-42. Not horrible, but, last couple weeks, I've kind of done some reaching. I've done some reaches on upsets. I've done some prime example. I picked the Lions last week to get the first win, and that failed absolutely miserably. Good thing the Lions are off this week. But anyway, let's jump into week 9. Also, some big injury news coming into this week. We're going to talk about injuries here a little bit, especially in the Sunday night game. But as always, we're going to kick it off with the Thursday night game, which is the 2-5 New York Football Jets taking on the 3-5 Indianapolis Colts. First off, hats off to the Jets, who beat the Bengals last week in a massive upset. And for that matter, hats off to Mike White, the Jets quarterback. A little over 400 yards, if I remember correctly. Had a fantastic game. And like I said, hats off to the Jets. I don't see it happening with Indianapolis. I do have the Colts winning this game. Just because, nothing against this kid, this Mike White kid. If he has another game against Indianapolis, as like he did against Cincinnati, there might be a little bit of a controversy in New York when Zach Wilson gets healthy about putting Zach Wilson back in, or do you go with, your hot hand, if you will, if Mike White can pull off another win. But like I said, at the end of the day, I do have Indianapolis winning this game. I think Carson Wentz is starting to settle in. I don't think the Colts are a good football team, but I do think they're a little bit better than the Jets. Next up, 3-4 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 5-2 New Orleans Saints. The Saints had a big win against Tampa Bay. Hats off to them. I had Tampa Bay winning that game, but New Orleans with a pick 6 to seal it. Big news out of that. Jameis Winston, Saints quarterback, out for the year with a torn ACL, which really hurts to see that because Jameis was having a really promising season this year. When the name Jameis Winston is thrown out, you think, oh my God, he's going to throw. I think he's still the first and only quarterback in NFL history to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions when he was with Tampa Bay. But hey, hats off. The Saints beat the Buccaneers. I don't like Tampa Bay at all, so that was great to see. Trevor Siemian takes over the signal calling for New Orleans. And against Atlanta, I like the Saints. I like the Saints because it seems like every time I pick Atlanta, I picked Atlanta last week, I got burned. The Falcons don't do me any favors when I pick them, so I'm going to pick against them and see if that'll do me some favors. But I got the Saints winning over the Falcons. Next up, 4-4 Denver Broncos taking on the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys. Again, Cowboys, I had the Vikings winning last week, but because rumor had it that Dak Prescott was not going to play with the calf, Cooper Rush steps in and guides the Cowboys to a victory. So, hats off to the Cowboys. I have Dallas winning this game. No word yet on Dak Prescott, if he's going to play in this game or if they're going to. I think where Dallas sits, I don't think it would hurt to have Dak sit on the bench. But I don't, especially Broncos also just trading Von Miller to the LA Rams. Ahead of the trade deadline, by the way, is also today at 3:00. And I'm going to be kind of discussing some other players here as these picks go on. Again, I do have Dallas winning. I feel Dallas is just the better team. I'm not ready to put Dallas in a Super Bowl contender category. I think the Cowboys, obviously, I think they're going to win the NFC East. They're going to be in the playoffs this year, but it's just a matter of how far can they go. I'm still on the. I'm not saying they're bad. They're not bad. 6-1. They're playing great football, but I'm just not ready to crown them as the uncrowned champions as of yet. But I do have Dallas going to 7-1 this week. Excuse me. Next up, the 4-4 New England Patriots taking on the 4-4 Carolina Panthers. As much as I'd like to say Carolina because I hate New England, I'm taking the Patriots just because I've not even since week 1 did I believe in the Carolina Panthers. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I've said this week in, week out on my little pick show that I don't believe in Sam Darnold. Christian McCaffrey, not sure what his status is going to be either. But the Mac Jones experiment in New England. Hats off to the Patriots. So they knocked off the LA Chargers in a big surprise last week. But the Panthers, I don't feel, are even in the same realm of the LA Chargers. And I think if the Patriots can beat the Chargers, then they should easily handle the Carolina Panthers. I've got New England going ahead in that game. Next up, AFC North battle, 4-4 Cleveland Browns taking on the 5-3 Cincinnati Bengals. I talked about the Bengals very briefly in the opener with the Jets and the Colts. I think in the Battle of Ohio, if you will, Cleveland and Cincinnati, I do like the Bengals in this game. I think the Browns are very, very banged up. I picked them against Pittsburgh just because I kind of thought Pittsburgh would flounder a little bit, but it was the Browns that floundered in that game. And I just feel that the injury bug is way too much. I have actually on my other screen, I'm kind of keeping track of the trade deadline. The Browns have said there's been rumors that the Packers were going to pursue Odell Beckham. The Browns have stated they have no interest in trading Odell Beckham, which is unfortunate for Odell because I think in the Pittsburgh game, Odell was targeted once or twice and caught one pass. I mean, yes, Odell is injury prone. Odell is not the receiver he once was, but Odell Beckham is still a playmaker if you get him involved. And I just kind of feel that, Odell would be better suited elsewhere if the Browns aren't going to utilize him. But I do have the Bengals bouncing back with a victory after losing to the Jets. Next game, a tale of two teams going opposite directions. The 5-2 Buffalo Bills taking on the 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm really not going to spend a lot of time on this game. I think Buffalo is going to win this game, and they're going to win this game big. Josh Allen undoubtedly playing lights out, probably the best football of his young career. This kid's a stud. It would not surprise me if this guy won MVP this year, honest to God. I think the Bills are one of the hottest teams in the AFC. And right now, if I had to pick a front runner, here 9 weeks into this, I should say 8 weeks into the season, going into the 9th week, my favorite in the AFC is the Buffalo Bills. I just think they have it put together. I think that they have the best quarterback in the conference right now. Again, my opinion, feel free to disagree, what have you, but I do feel Josh Allen is at the top of his game, and I think that's going to easily continue in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, it would not surprise me if Jacksonville gets one of the top 3 picks in the league or in the draft upcoming next year. Jacksonville's a mess. They're just a mess. Urban Meyer, I've said this, and I still feel Urban Meyer won't last the entire year. I think that he'll pull a Nick Saban and he'll quit like halfway through the year. And even though we're almost halfway through the year now, but I mean, I just feel Urban will be gone by the end of the year. He'll find some reason to go back to college football, and maybe he should. I mean, he was a great college coach, not been a great NFL coach thus far at 1-6. But I do have Buffalo over Jacksonville. Where did I leave off? Here we go. The 1-7 Houston Texans taking on the 1-7 Miami Dolphins. I'm not a fan. I could really care less about either of these teams. I do have the Dolphins winning this game just because I think the Texans are just garbage. I mean, the Texans have been in games this year, as have the Dolphins. So, I mean, something's got to give. One of these teams have to get a second win, and I've got the Dolphins going over in that game. Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders coming off of a bye at 5-2, taking on the 2-6 New York Giants. Giants nearly got a win over the Chiefs. I have to say I was actually very surprised by that. But coming off a bye, I like the Raiders. I love the fact that they've won their last 2 since the whole John Gruden incident that happened 3 weeks ago. I like that they are, they seem to put all that crap behind them, and I see them beating the Giants. I don't think the Giants are that great. The Giants are still marred by a lot of injuries. So I've got the Las Vegas Raiders going over in that one. Next up, the 4-3 Los Angeles Chargers taking on the 3-5 Philadelphia Eagles. The Chargers rather. Shocked by the Patriots. I look for Justin Herbert to rebound per se, and have a bounce back game against Philadelphia. The Eagles put a beat down on the Lions, but then again, it's the fucking Lions. Didn't really expect a whole lot out of that one. But I have the Chargers winning this game. I think that they're better than what they played last week. And I think last week was just Patriots were the better team. But I do have the Chargers going over the Eagles. Next up, the 7-1 Green Bay Packers, the hottest team in football. And I am not saying that because I am a fan. I am saying that because that is simple logistics, my friends. Taking on the 4-4 Kansas City Chiefs. At the beginning of the season, I, honest to God, thought this would probably be one of the best games of the season. And I think it's going to be a good game. You have Aaron Rodgers. You have Patrick Mahomes. The last time these two teams faced off in the regular season, I believe Patrick Mahomes was injured. But it's very, very difficult to go against Green Bay right now, especially with what happened last week when they beat Arizona. They knocked the Cardinals from the rank of the undefeated. They were down like 11 or 12 starters. Yo, Boston Sports Report in the chat. Let's go week 9. Absolutely. Appreciate you being here. But I think what the Packers did last week is they made a statement last week. Down 11 or 12 players, down their defensive coordinator. Aaron Rodgers did not have 3 of his top wide receivers. Their leading pass rusher was out. Jair Alexander, cornerback, was out. Unbelievable. And that they not only went to Arizona and won that game, they went to Arizona and they punched Arizona right in the fucking mouth. Now, that being said, had AJ Green turned around, at that last play that Rasul Douglas intercepted to give the Packers the win, it's a much different ballgame. I'm not saying that the Packers are better per se than the Cardinals, but a win is a win. And you know what? Anybody that is a football fan that roots for their team will tell you a win is a win, however you want to get it. That's just the reality of it. I think the Packers going down to Arizona, all the doubt, all the and I picked Arizona last week because I legitimately thought Green Bay did not have a chance against the Cardinals with all that was against them. And you know what? I was wrong, but I got the Packers going over the Chiefs in this game. Patrick Mahomes leads the league in interceptions, which I can't believe I'm even saying that. And they damn near coughed up the game against the Giants last night. Kansas City's in rough shape. Also, big note from the Packers-Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins was also out a majority of that game. I think if DeAndre Hopkins was in that game, could have been a different result last week. But like I said, the Packers are 7-1. They are in the driver's seat. They are the current number 1 seed in the NFC, and they essentially hold their fate. Do I think the Packers are going to win out? No, I don't. But right now, the Packers are in the driver's seat toward that number 1 seed. So I got the Packers going over the Chiefs. Speaking of the Cardinals, the 7-1 Arizona Cardinals take on the 3-4 San Francisco 49ers. I got the Cardinals winning. I think it's going to be a bounce-back game. Much like I just kind of discussed with Green Bay. The game last week against the Packers, the Cardinals, it was a dogfight, man. It was an absolute dogfight. And like I said, Kyler Murray threw a perfect pass to A.J. Green. Had A.J. Green simply turned around, that would have been a catch. Cardinals would have won that game. But whatever the case may be, interesting to see what is going to happen with Kyler Murray. He kind of got banged up in that game. He was kind of limping off the field. I actually have seen a couple of reports he was in a walking boot after the game. But Kyler insists he's fine and that he is going to be ready to go. Against the 49ers, it's a bounce-back game for the Cardinals. The Cardinals weren't going to go undefeated. I don't think anybody on the planet saw Arizona going undefeated. But I like the Cardinals. I'm not sold on the 49ers. The Niners beat the Bears last week, which is like saying that, a high school team beat a freaking, kindergarten team. I mean, the Bears are putrid, which we'll get to the Bears here in a little bit. But I think it's a good bounce-back game for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are going to stay in firm control. Cardinals are going to be a playoff team. There's no doubt. It would not surprise me if we get a rematch between Arizona and Green Bay in the playoffs, which I'd welcome that. I think it'd be a fantastic game. Sunday night game is the 6-2 Tennessee Titans taking on the 7-1 Los Angeles Rams. And prior to Monday, when I saw this game on the schedule, I was like, this is going to be a great game. And then after the injury news with Derrick Henry out for the season after suffering a broken foot in the overtime win against the Colts, out for the year. Anybody that's a Titans fan, I'm going to level with you guys. Ryan Tannehill is only good. I'm quoting good because Derrick Henry runs the fucking football. Now the Titans, I have written down. Now they did pick up Adrian Peterson to fill that void, which is it's not a bad pickup. Adrian Peterson, I think, still has a lot in the tank, but I think with the Titans losing Derrick Henry for the year, that's a gut punch. That's a gut punch and a half. And I do think that I have the Rams winning, coming off the bye. Matt Stafford playing amazing football right now. The Rams picked up Von Miller. I talked about in the Bronco game that I had discussed earlier on. The Broncos traded Von Miller to the Rams. So the Rams, who already have a loaded defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, now you have a great pass rusher in Von Miller. The Rams are all in for the Super Bowl this year. Again, hard to say, 8 weeks in if they're going to be there, but I think that it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I do like the Rams in this game. The Titans are good. Yeah, they're 6-2. That's great. I think they're still front runners for that division, but losing Derrick Henry is seriously going to diminish Tennessee's chance to do any major damage in the playoffs. They haven't ruled Derrick Henry out for the season, but Adam Schefter from ESPN pretty much says it's a done deal. He is having surgery on the foot, and it's going to be very difficult for Derrick to come back from that, which sucks. Derrick Henry's on my fantasy team, so I now have to go get a new running back, which sucks. I wish Derrick Henry nothing but the best. I really hope he can come back from this injury better than he was before. But I do have the Rams winning this game. Again, a huge blow for Tennessee. Had Derrick Henry been in this game, I'd still probably take the Rams, although I think it'd be a bit more competitive, if you will. But that being said, Monday night's game, the 3-5 Chicago Bears are taking on the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nothing I can say good about the Chicago Bears. It has nothing to do, like I said, it goes back to it has nothing to do. I'm a Packer fan. I looking at the Bears are absolute garbage this year. Justin Fields, I was happy for him when he got named the starter over Andy Dalton. I thought that was the right move to make. But I still don't think this kid is thrown for 200 yards in a game. That being said, the Steelers are not playing great either, but I do like them more than the Bears. Henceforth, I'm taking Pittsburgh at home to beat the Bears. It's just a matter of I think the Steelers have the better defense, and I think that offensively they're a little bit better than Chicago. Maybe not by much, but enough to get a win. So that being said, as I just dropped my pen, I got the Steelers going over on the Bears. Bye weeks this week, the Detroit Lions, the Seattle Seahawks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington football team all have the week off. So to recap, I have the Colts over the Jets, the Saints over the Falcons, the Cowboys over the Broncos, the Patriots over the Panthers, the Bengals over the Browns, the Bills over the Jaguars, Dolphins over the Texans, Raiders over the Giants, Chargers over the Eagles, Packers over the Chiefs, Cardinals over the 49ers, Rams over the Titans in the Sunday night matchup, and the Steelers over the Bears in Monday night's matchup. So, like I said, overall record 78-42. Not bad. Not bad. I'm okay with that. This is actually the first year I'm actually doing a live pick'em week in, week out. And I'll be doing this all the way through Super Bowl 56. So, be interesting to see where the stats line up. It's funny because I literally have my notebook. And I jot these games down every week. And then come Monday, I kind of come up and I'm like, okay, check marks, X's, whatever. But so there we go, guys. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on week 9. And I'm actually off this Sunday. I'm actually off Sunday and Monday. So I will be watching a lot of football this weekend. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every single one of you that do watch this stuff. Last week's video got like views in like the 30s. So those of you who watched last week, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Spread the word. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.